Hello, everybody. This is Bobby Mills with theindependent.com with another In the Hoop show. Today we're in Aurora with legendary head coach. How do you like that one? Kevin Asher.
Hey.
How are you, dude? So good to catch up, man.
I'm doing all right, Bobby. It's been a while, but it's been great to see each other back and forth through the year.
Gosh, this is a good place for you, I think. I don't know. It just seems right.
You got that smile on your face like I got the smile on my face when I was told I got this job.
Oh, boy.
It feels like home.
It could. Am I crazy about seeing a likeness between this town and the gig at St. Cecilia?
You're spot on.
It just seems like tradition, I don't know, work ethic, that the way the people operate. I mean, St. Cecilia's not a town, but it just seems like the same atmosphere there.
Yeah, very much so. The people and the families and the just the kid involvement with the family and the school and the town, it all fits together really nice, and that's very much what St. Cecilia was. It was well supported by the town. It was well supported by the families, and then the kids worked extra hard.
Yeah, 3 schools there. McKenna's a Hastings High grad. And, there's some schools you don't see that at, but Aurora's, boy, definitely. And it's hard to figure out who their rival is.
Yeah,
because a lot of teams think Aurora's their rival. I don't know how you can get much better than that. So, I mean, hey, man, we got to beat Aurora. So, God, we're talking about 461 wins. That's a lot of wins, man. How many years have you been head coach? And this is your...
This 29. So,
wow.
It's getting to be a career in some ways, but yet I don't feel like it's anywhere close to the end.
Oh, I don't know. The way you look now, you could coach to your 90. So as long as you're having fun and getting paid well for it, what the heck, man? Oh, who cares about the money, right?
Right.
So is this the biggest program that you have coached, school numbers-wise?
School number-wise, yes. I was in C1 at St. Cecilia, C1 at Wood River. But Class B, yes, definitely the biggest school, and we're very close to C1. I think in a couple of years we might be C1 in basketball. I think we're going C1 football next year.
Yeah, but I thought this was the biggest school. The teams that played St. Cecilia back, and they probably thought they were the. Yeah. Are we playing a B or small A program? Yeah. How many kids out for basketball this year? Let's go 9 through 12.
We've got 32, 31 healthy at this point. We had one boy, a junior boy, who blew out a knee in his ACL, kind of a freak, no contact deal in football in a game. But, couple student managers and 5 coaches, and it works.
Good. What was the biggest number you had at St. Cecilia? That's the next question.
Yeah, we were real close to 30, okay. 32 my first year, I think, right in that number. So it's very similar.
When you came to Aurora, did you have an opportunity to work in the summer, or was that not there?
We were very fortunate, even though we were kind of COVID, last spring and all that. Last spring I did some stuff in the mornings before school, and these kids are used to that. And then we went the summer route. We played the GICC League 2 nights a week through the month of June. Camp at Concordia, summer weight program is really strong here. So we were in there, 6 a.m. and then we did our basketball right after that. So we got quite a bit done. The only thing we didn't see was the same group over and over and over, just because baseball, golf meets, 7-on-7 football. The kids are busy.
I know. And do any of your kids travel with traveling teams, the basketball kids? Or some do, some don't, I know. But
yeah, we had a few kids play travel, and then one of our junior dads, he took our juniors and a couple seniors, and they played after June in a AAU, about 3 to 4 tournaments between Omaha and Kearney maybe, and so they played in those. And that really got them some extra basketball.
And that's just the Aurora kids, though.
Yeah, just the Aurora.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So, who's on your coaching staff here?
Well, we've got a really good staff, and that's part of the reason the transition was so smooth. My JV coach is Scott Phillips. He's been teaching here for 7 years and been part of the program, so he does a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that nobody sees. Cole Ashby, who's our strength coach. He's on the football staff, and he's our freshman coach. Michael Shazik is a guy that works with our reserves. And then I got lucky, and got Henry Penner, who played
really?
an alum.
Yeah.
He came back, and he's finishing up school in Wayne, but he's online, so he's helping out. And then Scott Shireman, which would be Baylor Shireman, and now my freshman Booker Shireman's dad.
Yeah.
He helps out with our posts, and he does some individual skill workouts with kids. So
Jeez.
incredible to get that type of support right away as a head coach.
Good. Yeah, no kidding. And then, did they have an elementary thing already in place?
For the most part,
Yeah.
yes. They did a little bit of changing this over this past year, trying to get everything kind of under one umbrella so that everybody's doing the same thing. I mean, we'll keep working at that. I mean, that's something that, we with the facilities we have at the Penner athletic courts over here, our facilities here at the school are really nice. So we just want to get more kids involved. And we got big numbers this year throughout the fall and summer camps.
Good. Great to hear. Yeah, you want them all on the same page, you know. That can hurt you in basketball, football, either one. So tell us about some of your contributors this year. It looked like you had some pretty good height coming back.
We have good size.
How about the backcourt? Is that a thing you want to build?
The backcourt is, we lost some really good kids there.
Did.
I didn't really necessarily know them, but I know who they were. The superintendent's boy was a Phillips. We lost Herzberg's boy. He was a good coach.
Yeah.
We lost Bell. His dad was the coach. I mean, you got three right there that you just go, wow, that's a really good group of three.
Okay.
We're building in the backcourt, but we're young there. Juniors and sophomores and now freshmen. Our size, with our two seniors, Tate Noctegal and Preston Raymakers, they started every game almost last year. So they're back at 6'7" and 6'6", and then Coy Walters is our other senior. So we have those three seniors. We're going to miss them dearly in the future, but we have 10 juniors out right now.
Wow.
7 of those are high-skilled guards. And then we have a couple sophomores. We have another Raymakers who's 6'8".
I noticed that in football. Jeez.
And when you get that size, that's good. We've got a couple Danielsons. We've got the Shireman boys already 6'3". So the size is going to be there, and then you put guys like Carlos Colazo and Carson Stair and Drew Knutz, the guys that played football a lot, Camden Holiday. You got, the pieces there. Right away, I knew we had pieces. We just had to change a little bit of the thought process, I think, of how these kids approached a basketball season compared to a football season, because come football season they were very, very tradition rich and strong, and not that they haven't been strong in basketball, which they have. They had a nice record last year, but this group was unproven because of the backcourt.
Yeah. Who's your first guy off the bench? Does Carlos play a lot?
Carlos is our starting point guard right now.
I can't. It's just like, don't get in my way, man.
Yeah, there's a few fullback dives.
Is he?
Or I-back ISOs, whatever you want to call
Is he a good ball handler? Must be.
He handles the ball pretty well. He's learning to make great decisions.
God, that is so.
That's a big kid. I mean, he fills out the uniform. Let me tell you that.
Pretty imposing, but a ball handler, how's his footwork? It's got to be good.
Really good footwork.
Good.
Yeah, he's been a basketball player in that class since he was in the younger kids.
I didn't know that. I thought he might have wrestled.
Yeah.
Hey, good for you and good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Aurora. How's your schedule been so far? It hasn't been real easy, has it?
No, I mean,
it's just like, we were talking beforehand.
Yeah, you start that season with 4 practices.
Yes.
Going in.
Yeah,
that's a blessing. Nobody will ever tell me any different, because of the fact that the only bad time is when it's your first year.
Yeah.
And kids didn't know quite to what to expect. But we came out fairly healthy in football. But we start the year with Adams Central and Wahoo.
Oh.
Adams Central's Adams Central, and we were good enough that night to get that game. But Wahoo is Wahoo, and they taught us a few things about the game of basketball early in the season. But we had it to a 4-point game with 7 minutes to go, and ended up losing by 25. So you kind of go, whoa! But you could just see that was our Achilles heel was we were in a lot of these games that we've lost, and we have that last 4 to 5 minutes where we couldn't close a deal, and that's really what happened to get at Beatrice. Beatrice is a 6-point game with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
We end up losing by double digits. Blair, same thing over Christmas. Norris, we're up 90% of the game and lose in the last 2 minutes. So we've got 4 losses we've learned from each and every one of them. And we've strung 4 wins together here right now and starting to hit a little bit of a stride.
Well, I can't, if I know you, Coach, that not closing out games is not going to last very long. I mean, to lose to Wahoo like that, if somebody would, I think everybody's thrown that game out because you didn't have any time to practice. I'd like to see you play them again. And,
Well,
but, you know, and it's not going to happen.
Right.
But, you know, but I'd like to see a second time. And they were pretty impressive against Platteview last night, I guess. So, but different classes.
Mm-hmm.
So, were you familiar with some of these Class B teams from the St. Cecilia days?
Yeah.
Or not? Because
Yeah.
you used to play over here in the tournament, right?
Sure, we played in the holiday tournament
Yeah,
here,
and
and then
did
it moved
well.
to York.
Yeah.
So we played in it with York and Elkhorn and you know, a couple teams from Class B, and you know, even at St. Cecilia, we played Omaha Skutt, we played Ralston, and the Hopes Classic. Those 2 teams.
Oh, what a game. Oh,
We always played Gretna, which now has moved up to Class A. St. Cecilia, we played such a high-level schedule. I just can't even go back and think of all those.
Oh, my goodness.
Playing in the Centennial was enough, but then we played the high-level teams in C1 and B, and I think as a coach and as a program, I can't stress enough, play up, play up, play up, and
Yeah.
it pays off at the end of your season.
Even went and played Mount Michael on their court that one year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
I remember you telling me that. I think this guy knows what he's doing, man. Get the kids especially that 3-point shot in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, like. So who's in your district this year? I thought it looked early in the year and it looked manageable. I don't.
Yeah, it's you know, it's York, Seward, us, and Crete, and it's the conference pretty
Yeah.
much. It's rival games.
Yep.
20 miles, 40 miles in an hour. So, you know, I think we're all going to beat each other up, like you said before we got on the air, enough that we're going to be real familiar with each other.
Yeah.
I think each team probably feels, hey, I feel pretty good about this district. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have a Skutt, we don't have a Roncalli. I think those are the top 2 teams in the state. But then in Class B, you take the top 16. So if you don't win your district, you still have to stay somewhere in that 16 teams so you can maybe get a wild card or a district final.
And Crete, you know, sometimes you might not worry about Tony's down there now,
Yeah.
Tony Siskey. So you never know.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared each night. So you were telling me beforehand that you guys are doing pretty well health-wise for COVID, and some teams aren't. It's not a long-lasting thing, thank God, but everybody injuries except for one. So one other question I always have for everybody: what are your thoughts about a shot clock? Maybe at this level, maybe at any level.
I'm ready for it.
Yep.
I think the kids are ready for it. I think the state's ready for it. Outside of how do we go through all the procedures?
See, nobody has mentioned that to me. I love it.
And
There's logistics to it, right?
yeah, and you're gonna have, you know how many times you watch a college game, and you got clock stoppage, and you've got going to the monitor.
Yeah.
We won't have monitors. We will have to have a person trained.
Yes.
I think they should start with it in Class A if they want to get it into Class B for, you know, I don't think it's going to affect the game as much as people think, except for the last minute to 2 minutes of every quarter.
Bingo. Yeah.
And that's where I don't like the way the game's played, and I've used it to our favor. We'll hold the ball with 40 seconds left for
Everybody
one shot.
does it, you know.
But I think it will change in the 4th quarter if you're up 8 and you've got a 3-minute game left. I mean, you're going to have to keep playing.
Yeah.
You're going to have special sets and situations to where you get the ball to your players. And you're defensively, you're going to have to make some changes too, because of the fact that I think you want to keep the ball out of the best players' hands late in a shot clock, because that's what it's going to come down to. And it may broaden the whole entire game, I think, if that 5th, 6th, 7th player learns how to play a little bit more involved in the game. You know, because let's face it, whether it's the NBA or it's high school, you're running a lot of stuff for your top 2 or 3 scorers.
Yeah. Will money be an issue to some of these smaller schools? I don't know what it costs. I was surprised when I saw one quote, but
Yeah, we've already installed our shot clocks.
well, yeah,
And they're up, and they attach with our Wi-Fi system, so everything will be running down from the table. We're not quite up and running yet, but they're getting ready, just because the shot clock has something to do with the lights that go around the backboard and all. Everything's hooked together,
Sure.
so they thought they'd just do it all at once in case it happens. And you watch games on film, and you see it at Adams Central, you see it across where some teams have their shot clock. They just don't run the clock, they just run the game clock on it. So it's kind of neat, but I'm a favor of it. I'm even for, a 30. I think you should shrink it down even 5 more seconds just to keep pace of play.
I do too. I don't think it affected the Metro tournament much. I don't think.
Yeah.
In Class A, I don't think it'll affect Class A, but I think it's a good thing too. So we'll see. It'll trickle down
Oh,
sometime.
it definitely will come, I think, to Class A. It just maybe not this year. It kind of surprised me.
I know. So tell me when the next Aurora home game is. I'm sure you get good crowds. I know the band's good. So
Well, we have a great band and real nice support here. Our next big game, I think, is Seward on a week from tonight. We've been on the road quite a bit.
Oh, tell me about it. Good grief.
We've been on the road quite a bit in January since our holiday tournament, and we go to Kearney Catholic next Thursday, which that's going to be a tough one, and then Seward on Friday night at home, and then we start conference tournament the next week.
Right, and conference tournament is at Seward, is that right?
I think it's at Seward, once we get past our first round games.
Yeah, I love that Central Conference tournament. I worked it one year at Northwest, and we'll never forget that. So anyway, hey man, thanks for being on. I wish you the best of luck, and I don't think you need it because you're going to turn things into great things. They're already good, but you'll do fine. Hope you see you down at the state tournament.
Well, that's our goal. Each year kids got to live some memories, and man, there'd be nothing better for this group to get down there, but we got a lot of work to do.
Hey, you're the man that'll turn it into gold, baby. All right. Thanks for being with us. McKenna behind the camera. For Kevin Asher, one of the best in the biz. This is Bobby Mills for In the Hoop. We'll catch you down the road next time.